What if you could make water hotter than boiling and use that extra heat to transform tough food into something tender in a fraction of the usual time? That sounds simple, but the science inside a pressure cooker is surprisingly clever. The secret isn't a stronger flame, it's pressure. Let's explore, right here, on History of Simple Things. The story of the pressure cooker goes back to the 17th century, when French physicist Denis Papin developed a device called the steam digester around 1679. Papin discovered that sealing water inside a strong vessel allowed steam pressure to build, raising the boiling temperature of water and making food cook faster. His invention was an early ancestor of the modern pressure cooker. However, pressure cookers didn't become common household appliances until much later, particularly during the 20th century, when improvements in metalworking, sealing systems, and pressure control mechanisms made them safer and easier to use. What began as an experimental scientific device eventually became a familiar kitchen appliance found in homes around the world. To understand why a pressure cooker works, we first need to understand something that seems obvious. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, or 212 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Not always. That temperature is the boiling point of water at approximately normal atmospheric pressure at sea level. Boiling happens when the vapor pressure of water becomes equal to the pressure surrounding it. If the surrounding pressure changes, the boiling point changes too. At higher altitudes, atmospheric pressure is lower, so water boils at a temperature below 100 degrees Celsius. Inside a pressure cooker, the opposite happens. The sealed container traps steam, increasing the pressure above the water. Because the pressure is higher, water needs to reach a higher temperature before it can boil. This is the key to the entire process. When you heat water inside a pressure cooker, some of that water turns into steam. In an ordinary uncovered pot, that steam escapes into the atmosphere. But a pressure cooker is sealed, so the steam remains inside. As more steam is produced, the pressure inside the cooker rises. The increased pressure pushes against the liquid water, making it harder for water molecules to escape into the gas phase. As a result, the boiling point rises. Depending on the cooker and its operating pressure, the temperature of the water and steam can rise to roughly 120 degrees Celsius or around 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That extra 20 degrees or so might not sound dramatic, but it makes a huge difference in cooking speed. And this is where heat transfer becomes important. Cooking isn't simply about how hot something is, it's about how quickly heat moves into the food. Steam is especially effective at transferring heat because when it comes into contact with a cooler surface, it condenses and releases a significant amount of energy. Inside a pressure cooker, hot steam surrounds the food, while the cooking liquid remains at a higher temperature than it would in an ordinary pot. The higher temperature speeds up chemical and physical changes inside the food. Proteins break down, connective tissues soften, starches absorb water and gelatinize, and tough ingredients such as beans, meat, and certain vegetables become tender much faster. One of the most impressive effects happens to collagen, the tough protein found in connective tissue. During slow cooking, heat and moisture gradually transform collagen into gelatin, which gives properly cooked meat its soft, tender texture. A pressure cooker accelerates this process because the higher temperature provides more thermal energy and speeds up the reactions responsible for breaking down those tough structures. This is why a cut of meat that might require several hours of simmering can become tender in a much shorter period inside a pressure cooker. But if pressure is so useful, why doesn't the cooker simply keep building more and more of it? Because uncontrolled pressure would be dangerous. Modern pressure cookers are designed with safety mechanisms that regulate and release pressure. The pressure regulator, valve, or electronic control system allows excess pressure to escape when a predetermined level is reached. Modern cookers also commonly include additional safety features that prevent the lid from being opened while the internal pressure remains high. This is important because opening a highly pressurized cooker suddenly could cause extremely hot liquid and steam to escape violently. Another interesting part of the science is what happens after the heat is turned off. The pressure doesn't necessarily disappear immediately. As the cooker cools, some of the steam condenses back into liquid water. With fewer gas molecules occupying the space inside the sealed vessel, the internal pressure begins to fall. This is why many pressure cooking recipes recommend either a natural pressure release or a controlled quick release. During natural release, the cooker simply cools and pressure gradually decreases. During quick release, a valve allows steam to escape, reducing pressure much faster. So, despite its ordinary appearance, a pressure cooker is really a compact physics experiment happening in your kitchen. It combines heat, steam, pressure, thermodynamics, and the chemistry of food to change the way cooking works. The most important idea is surprisingly simple. Increasing pressure raises the boiling point of water, and raising the boiling temperature allows food to cook at a higher temperature without the water simply boiling away. That extra heat accelerates the breakdown of tough structures and turns long cooking processes into much shorter ones. From Denis Papin's 17th-century steam digester to today's sophisticated electric pressure cookers, the principle remains remarkably similar. The next time you hear that familiar hiss of steam escaping from a pressure cooker, you're not just hearing a kitchen appliance, you're hearing physics at work. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.